meat and curry, I'm your man. Cause how we all lose it is a mystery. It's like the changing of our wardrobes from a dire history. But it's the one making us not stop. 50 kilograms is all we've got to drop. La 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 la, la 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 la.
Bobby Cooper.
Mr. Wellman.
How are you, sir?
Not bad, not bad. I'm excited for this. I understand. Yeah, we've got a guest on, haven't we? Second guest.
Second guest on the pod.
Come on, the pod.
And it's our first dropper that's coming onto the pod.
Come on.
What we need to find out is if he actually is going to identify as someone who's now been heard on 50 kg drop.
Yeah, I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to be identified as someone like that?
Dan Walsh.
Dan Walsh, yeah? Dan the man. Connecting to audio. Here he comes.
Nervous times.
All right, lads.
All right, Dan.
Walsh.
How are we doing?
Good, you?
I'm good.
I'm excited, Dan.
I'm excited too. This is it's mad because I told you me and my brother we're big boys. My brother has the same hairdresser as you, Bob.
Come on.
That's how this came about. He was talking to his barber because me and my brother were talking. I kind of said this idea similar to what you guys were doing, just a kind of a bit of a motivational tool. Is that for me and my brother maybe to do something similar to this? He was like, "That's so mad." I had a conversation with my hairdresser, and he said about one of the guys who also goes to him, and then I started listening to all the episodes, and then I was like, "Well, I've got to reach out to these guys and have a chat." So that's how it came about. It's mad.
Come on.
Yeah.
So are you an Oxford lad then, Dan?
No, my brother, he lives in Stadhampton.
Stadhampton. Lovely.
So he moved there a couple of years ago, but I'm kind of Surrey. He's about over an hour away. But originally from sort of Uxbridge, kind of northwest London way.
Yeah, nice.
He
Okay.
loves it around there. He loves it. It's a beautiful place around there.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's a nice part of the world. I'll share barbers with your brother.
I've got a couple of questions first, right?
Yeah.
What's your brother's hair look like?
It's similar to mine, but the other way.
The other way, but is it the same length all over like Bob gets, or is there like multiple?
Yeah, it's definitely not the Lego head look.
Superb.
But no, he loves that barber as well. He says,
Chris is in Horsepath. He is on Gidley Way, and he's also available for you to contact from any part of the world on Instagram. If you want to know what his Instagram handle or name is, and he is Chris the Barber _Oxford.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Comes up as private hair appointments, and he's a lovely, lovely fella. I really enjoy going to see Chris. Makes me happy.
Sounds like some film set on Lord of the Rings.
Do you know what? He's like 65 yards from my gap as well, so couldn't be more.
You live near Gidley Pass then, do you?
And literally, go out my house, sling a left, go under a bridge, pop out at his house. It's great.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, enough about haircuts. We also, not only do I share a barber with your brother, but we share the need for this great weight loss journey, Dan.
Yes. Yeah.
So you and your brother, you were a similar weight, right?
We were both at one point. So going back to sort of 2016, we'd always been big lads. It's similar to probably you guys. I've listened to the pod, so we've always been big lads. But I think I remember it was around sort of 2016. We both had broken up with kind of missuses at the same time.
Yeah.
And sometimes the heartbreak diet makes you lose weight. For me and him, no. We spiked. Yeah. We went right up. And I think we both at around the same time realised that things were bad.
Yeah.
Always played rugby. Always kind of had the rugby background and always were quite active. And then injuries and that usual thing that happens where when you're younger, you play a sport and then you stop playing it. And it's probably that 4 or 5 years, looking back, it was sort of that 4 or 5 years where I didn't even realise it was piling on as much as it was. And then the next minute you weigh in. I think I weighed in at 30 stone 6. I remember it.
What's that in kilos? Do you have any idea?
Do you know what? I worked it out. Let me just
30 stone. So 30 stone times 6.6. 6, is it? 198 kilos plus about, I know it's about 201 kilos maybe.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. And it was actually, I think the trigger moment was I was on a stag do, one of my first stag do's I'd been on with all my mates, and a Ryanair flight and the belt situation. And I remember all my mates, like we all rip each other, which I'm sure you guys do with your mates, and they were all kind of expecting it. And then I kind of had to do the hand motion to the woman going, the belts. At the time, it was hilarious. Everyone joked about it. But I do remember after that, later on in the day, thinking, I've got to sort my shit out. I've got to sort it out. And then
do you know what though? I had a flight literally. So I've spoken about this before a few weeks ago on the pod. But the worst situation with seatbelts was on last week when we last came back from America, and I actually pressed the button for the woman because it couldn't fit. I had that heart sinking like, this actually doesn't go on. I'm at capacity here. So I'm chucking it underneath my belly to try and like wrench myself into the seat, kind of just about getting to touch thing, and I can't get to do up. So I rang for the woman thinking there's no one in this section at the moment because I've got on board first thinking she might be able to get me an extension before anyone sees. And then by the time she came, I'd like, my legs were purple and I pretty much managed to just get it done up. You couldn't see it. So then when they come around to check, like, no, it's about done up. I promise you it is. You can't, it's under there. I can't move. That's the worst I've ever had. And I know, I know if I actually cross that line.
What does the extender look like?
Well, it's bright orange as well. It's the worst thing. When you see them walking down the aisle with a bright orange thing, you're thinking, right, where's the fat bastard then? Where are they? Where are they sitting?
Yeah.
But the maddest thing is, I travel a lot with work. I remember going onto Amazon and buying an extender and taking it on a flight with me because I was thinking, the last thing I want to do is ask for an extender with colleagues. That was the big thing. It wasn't so much the people on the plane. I was thinking, I'm traveling with colleagues. And in my mind, I'm like, they know I'm a big boy. So it's like, it shouldn't be a surprise. But it was just that anxiety of, I just don't want that awkward, weird, embarrassing situation with work colleagues. If it was normal mates, like I went on a stag do, it didn't bother me. So I actually managed to get it on the flight and then do up and find the right color that matched. The planning and preparation that went into that is just crazy. Looking back now.
Fucking hell.
When you're in that moment where you're kind of growing and there's loads of things in there. And I know for me personally, there's loads of secretive stuff because you don't want to have that awkward conversation about, for me, it's like eating anything that's slightly off-piste, like a chocolate bar or something like that. Someone's staring at you going, you really don't need them, mate, do you?
Yeah.
And it kind of gets you in a habit to be doing this kind of secret stuff and planning and this sort of thing. What you just mentioned there about buying a seatbelt thing, if you think about the other things that could lead to, like bigger clothing, that sort of stuff, but it's all done away from the eyes of other people, isn't it? It's just
it is.
It's very hard for anyone to actually have. There's some blokes at work that just don't relate to this pod whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you should just be told that you're a fat every day and you should change. And I'm like, in theory that could work. Yeah, it could. But it probably pushes everyone into like a further secretive mode. And it comes to this epiphany moment where you have to actually like start telling everyone. And do you know what I mean? Like I'm on this mission, come with me and this sort of stuff. I completely get the kind of clients, everything, because that's the same as going to a client meeting and not being able to fit in the chairs in the meeting room. That's just
I work in public relations, and a lot of that is about, I mean, especially when you're going to meet clients and they're paying you a lot of money, like they don't want some big fatty sat there sweating. And that's what one thing I used to know, since I've lost weight, like just going into a meeting, not having to worry about sitting there and being embarrassed about sweating your tits off and like popping your brow. And like that's one thing that I used to always, I used to even like try and get to meetings almost and get in the location almost like an hour before just to get there, cool down. But then when you're sometimes going into meetings, they take you into
which is mad, isn't it?
It's mental.
I'm going to get there early just so I can be cool by the time actually the event starts.
It's mad. It's another moment that just thin people. That's not crossing their mind. No. And you said it on one of the pods the other day, Bob. It's like you just think life's too short to be thinking about these things. That's what really drove me after the flight situation and then hitting 30 odd stone. That's what then I was like, I need to sort. And even now, and my journey is nowhere near done. I've done pretty well. And then you're talking about the secrecy thing. I had to sit down. So this last 3 or 4 weeks for me has just summed up me and the weight loss stuff over the last sort of 6-7 years.
Yeah.
Had an amazing start to this year. Then I had a trip to New Zealand. That was great. Came back, weighed in. I'd put on weight, but it was nowhere like I hadn't gone crazy or anything like that. So I thought, all right, I'll just get that off, just get back straight on it. And for the next 2 weeks, it was just like a free for all. It's just crazy. Just didn't go to the gym, wasn't going out to do the steps.
I feel the same thing. As soon as you get out of the routine, you go on your holiday or whatever. When I come back, I've completely forgotten that, and then picking it back up again.
Yeah, it's really hard. And it was so weird. It was like, I think it was literally a week ago. It was like an intervention with me and my missus. I had to sit. I said, babe, I need to tell you something. We both sat down, and I was just like, I've been kind of secret in. And that's my thing. I will go away. I'll go in the car and pretend I'm going somewhere, and then divert to a drive-through, a shop, or whatever. Eat stuff on the way back, and then pretend that nothing's happened. And that's so bad. Yeah. That's my big thing. Like doing that, I had to sit her down, and she kind of half knew what it was because she always suspects anyway.
See, I can
telling her it actually helped, but at the same time, it was like I should have just came off the holiday, even had 1 or 2 days not on it, and then it's just mentally I find it hard to just think, okay, that's out of the way, let's just carry on as normal.
And then just get cracked back on with the secret eating thing. So for me, I think when I was younger, like living at my mum's house, I used to do that. I used to go, we'll just eat a chocolate bar when I'm out on that, just so it's not like obvious. What I do as an adult, I almost like headline up front that, right, whatever, it's been our week, I'm having a blowout later, and when I go to the shop and I come out with a bag full of goodies, like I always feel like I'll go over the top, just be like, whatever, I know it's shit, but I'm just doing it, I'll get back on it Monday, and just like have to real headline out rather than turning up with a bag of shit or turn up with a take on, going, look, I'm getting one, this is happening, yada yada yada, and I just kind of like almost reason with it why it's happening, and I feel like I need to do that.
Did you have like bad food at home as a kid? Was it in the house?
I think looking back, I think my mum was always she'll kill me to hear this. So I'll tell her herself. She was like a terrible, terrible cook. So we were kind of.
So is my mum.
Yeah, she was really bad. So we just, I think from a fairly early age, we were like, right, we'll just cook ourselves and stuff. So I think it maybe started back then. But as I say, we kind of half got away with it because we were pretty active all the time. We were big boys, but pretty active. It's that when the activity then drops off, and then after it's just and that. So I don't think I can look back and blame like my mum or family or whatever like that. I just think we probably took responsibility for our food early on, and then just made the bad choices. And then I think you can even then track it. I stayed on at university, did the uni thing, and actually look at like my weight's all over the last 10, 12, whatever years. I was the lowest I've ever been at uni. That was around the sort of 17, 18 stone mark, which is still big, but on my frame, I look quite good. I was happy with that. And even now, that's probably my goal.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was because you couldn't afford to go to a joint like McDonald's, and you literally couldn't afford to eat, and you were saving it to get pissed anyway. Whereas my brother, bear in mind we were exactly this, like identical twins, he then got a job, and then suddenly he had some money, and that was when he started to then increase in weight because he had the money. He could go out for a nice lunch, get a takeaway again. So that, I think, tracking it back even to then, I think just those choices you make then just kind of then lead you on the path, doesn't it? That's the way it is.
Asked a question about the kind of food at home. There was never ever anything bad in our house. My mum would never let it in our house.
Yeah.
So every time I had an opportunity or a window, I was out hunting around for this stuff. I was about 6 foot at like 12, going around getting served booze and stuff. Just trying to nick it all in at any point. So I always think, I heard Tom and Romesh on their podcast. Tom, is it Davies? I think it's Davies. He thinks that it's inherited from never having treats as kids, and then when you have the opportunity to, you lose your brain. But I think my missus's dad called it Labrador eyes, and it was it's like when you see the food you want, you have to have it. When you're older and you're saying you can afford it, it's just like opening the bag of food to a whole dog and just letting him eat.
Yeah, they've got a gene, haven't they? Me and my missus sometimes joke about that. She's like, you've got the gene that Labradors have, they just don't get full up.
Yeah. I say Labradors, I think all dogs. My dog would eat a whole horse if he had the opportunity to.
You and your brother went through that period years ago, put a load of weight on, you maxed out. I've done you a disservice, by the way. I've just checked. 194 kilos, not 201.
Okay.
And did your brother get to a similar weight?
Yeah. So I got to, it was June 2016. I came back from the stag do, just like, this needs to stop. So I signed up. I started doing boxing, bit like
we both did boxing, yeah.
I signed up with a guy that was down the road from me, personal trainer, and just started it. I'll never forget that first time I walked into that gym, and I was scared, and I don't get anxiety or anything like that. But looking back, that's probably the closest I've ever got where you're genuinely worried about what's going to happen. So I just started with him and just like one or two sessions a week, and then weight started coming off because I hadn't been active for so long. I love boxing, so for me it was like actually enjoyable to learn something new.
Yeah.
But on the food side of things, he wasn't a PT that's going to tell. He was literally a boxing coach. He wasn't going to tell you calories or whatever. So I kind of knew that roughly what to eat. So I started doing that, did fairly well quite quickly, and then me and my brother lived together at the time. And probably 6 months later, he was like, right. He's seen me get kind of move forward with it, and then he started with it as well. So we actually started training together. We were like sparring together. Doing it together helped so much. Helped so much.
Sparring your brother as well, which is superb.
Yeah, exactly. But we were both, when we started out, over 30. I can't remember what exactly he was, but
a similar starting weight.
Similar starting weight.
So there's at one point in time where two identical brothers who are both chunky men are sparring each other in a ring.
Yeah,
I'd fucking love to see that. That is just superb.
Really good, yeah.
There is no way me and my brother would be able to do that. We'd be kicking lumps out of each other.
I tell you what, looking back, there was a few times where it would get a bit tasty because we used to do it like before work, so it's quite early in the morning. So, but we loved it. And then I you start then obviously getting fitter, you enjoy it more, and then I actually did a fight. I actually signed up to do a fight, like a white collar thing.
Yeah.
And then we both kind of like just that kind of just being active, and we then did we signed up for a triathlon together. So we were kind of doing these things together and just kind of going. It was crazy. He lost probably 100 odd pounds in 9 or 10 months. It just flew off him.
Hold on, 100 pounds in 9 or 10 months.
Yeah. I remember looking.
That's not far. 50 kilos. 50 kilos is 110 pounds. So
literally, mine came off slower, but it just flew off him.
My weight flew off, and I know what you mean about boxing coaches, because boxing coaches, their kind of diets that they do to get, if you're not dealing with heavy weights, if you're dealing with the lower weights.
Yeah.
The guy that trained me was like, yeah, leading into the fight for a whole month, I'll just have 1 tin of soup every day.
Yeah,
and I'd be training 3 or 4 times a day, and you'd be like, because they're trying to get to a weight that's like below what their body should be, and then go up, and then you're sitting there going, "Oh yeah, but I'm trying to lose some weight. Any advice for me?" And he's just like, "Soup." And
I realise that they'll lose weight at all costs. There's no real science goes into it. I remember the guy that I was training with, he was still a professional at the time. And I remember being in the gym with him, and he was like sipping. It was like a few days before a fight. He was sipping water and then spitting it out because he didn't want to even follow the water.
Yeah, they want to drain their bodies. Yeah. Crazy. I got the weight off. I got in a great routine. I remember the first thing they made me do was to punch a bag for 3 minutes. And I thought that'd be easy. And I smoked about 35 a day back then.
Wow.
And I was gassed. Like, my shoulders felt like they were going to fall off. My hands felt they were going to fall off. Everything was just broken. And they went, well, I'm not sure you're going to be able to fight in 12 weeks, but keep coming back. So turned up again. It got me in such a good routine. And I think from a mental standpoint, that first 2 weeks was like climbing Everest. I got through that, then it was a lot easier. And then you get in a habit where you're like, do you know what? I genuinely prefer this life. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I'm now not tired all the time. Yeah. Weight's coming off. I'm feeling fitter. And I'm doing stuff that I didn't believe I could do. But I haven't been able to find a replacement for boxing since my injuries. And I think I'm doing all right at the moment, but something that's sustainable. Boxing really got me on the straight and narrow. I went down to about 122 kilograms.
Wow, yeah.
And I just haven't been able to. I've been banging on weight ever since my shoulder's gone and everything's gone. So I keep thinking, I do loads of stuff going, yeah, I'm going to put some effort into this, but it's nothing like the thought of getting beaten up in front of your mates or having that fight at the end of it was the real key bit.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an all or nothing guy, and I think it put a big strain on my relationship with my missus, to be fair, because I went from going out for meals to, look, we're going to sit indoors. I'm going to watch Nigel Benn's greatest hits, and I'm going to get in a dark place, get ready for this fight.
Especially if you enjoy it. Like, I've done the running thing, I've done other stuff like boot camps and stuff, and I just hated the process of actually doing it.
What's the boot camp situation? What boot camps have you done?
They were like these for 30 quid a month, you turn up on like a Monday and Wednesday evening, and it would be mostly women, but like these kind of military style boot camps, and for like an hour they'd just beast you with runs and weights and stuff like that. And it was actually really good. But I'd never looked forward to it, never enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I dreaded it, and I just think, for stuff that you're going to keep doing over and over again, like I don't train with a boxing guy, but my gym I make sure that the gym I have has a bag. And my brother now, he trains with a guy that's got a little gym near him in Southampton, who's like a pro, and my brother loves it still. It just shows you, if you go for something you actually enjoy, you will stick with it. It's like, I always hear that with influencers and God knows, oh, just do something you love, but it's actually right, because the other stuff you'll just end up.
Dan, so for you then, where's that journey take? That was a few years ago. You were at your physical peak. Where's that journey taking you now then, or what kind of levels did you get down to at your lowest?
Yeah, so I was one of those mental people that during lockdown, like, was just possessed. I started running then, and I think the lowest I've got since I started in 2016 was down to, it was around the kind of between 20 and 21 stone mark. I don't know what that is in kg. I remember getting down to that.
20.5 stone in kg. Let me just tell you that, my friend, because 20 and a half stone is 130 kilograms.
I think the lowest, like going back to the unit 18 stone, I think 18 stone is about 118 kilograms, isn't it? So it's not you guys are aiming for. So
what's your height?
6 foot.
6 foot.
Not like really tall. Probably more 5'11", but we'll say 6 foot. So I got down to that.
Enjoyed that.
Lockdown. And then over the next kind of 2 years or 2-3 years, it's kind of been a bit more yo-yo. Like, I'm probably sitting around the 23 mark at the minute. I moved house, did loads of other stuff, and I just found that I've been consistent, but only consistent in a few month blocks, especially last year. And I even found like an online personal trainer last year. I thought, I'm going to do it properly now and have someone there to really guide me through the calories and all that kind of stuff. My problem is I'm still really active. I still actually do the steps, I do all that. But then I still just cannot get a handle on the food side. It's almost in my head. The more I do activity side, the more I can eat and get away with it. And I just can't. I can't. So that's why I've kind of yo-yoed a bit. And this last few weeks, like I said earlier, is like a perfect example of me really summed up. Is I have the holiday, I'm going mad for 2 weeks. And then for the last week, I've been perfect. Like, everything's been great. I'm going to weigh in tomorrow. I feel better. And you get a week later, like I am now, you look back a week, you think, why was I doing that then? But you don't feel like that then. You're like, you can't be bothered with it.
I do think life's got a bit of balance to it though, doesn't it? I remember going after the first fight, or maybe the second fight, I flew out to Canada for a cousin's wedding. And then I went to Vegas afterwards. It was a 2-week trip, and I'd gained something ridiculous like 12 kilograms in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had to go and buy clothes because I couldn't fit into my clothes and this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it all came off again. And that's like an extreme kind of, and this is where I had a bit of an issue with boxing, because I went completely sober for them fights, and then strict diet, trained 6 or 7 times a week, and then came off them, and then just went, right, let's get back in that boozer. Let's start tasting that beautiful, delicious beer again, and then get the kebabs at the end of the night. And the bit that I really struggle with is, and this is something that my missus always says, is she's like, you're always all or nothing, and you need to find some sort of regular balance or control. But every time I've tried that, it just means that I gain weight. Like I have to either be doing something extreme or I'm gaining weight. I find it hard to come to the point where that's just life for me. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. And I think as I get older, I just need to fucking accept it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The guy that I work with and he was actually a friend. I worked with him for like a whole year, and he was just trying to instill in me that it's just another day. If you come back if you have a really good week, and let's say you have 10 beers on a Saturday, the next day it's just another day. It's not like a chance for you to go, oh, okay, because I'm like that. If I went out tonight and had even 4 or 5 pints, the diet would be gone. The whole weekend would be gone. I would not start.
Yeah, you start again Monday. You'll start again Monday. I love that line.
I am that personified, and I'm like you, a bit like that, where it's all or nothing. When me and my brother first started, we used to do this. The only thing we said, right, from Monday to Saturday, we are going to be perfect on the diet. I don't even think back then I think we were so big at that point, it didn't actually matter about counting calories. As long as we didn't do what we were doing before, we were going to lose weight.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, we were like, right, then we relax a bit. We didn't go crazy, but we just didn't. We would have maybe a takeaway or whatever. And we kind of got away with it because we were that big. But I do think once you get a bit more weight off, you just cannot get away. You can't get away with it. You have to. There's all that balance, and he was great, and I lost weight with him, but he was ripped, absolutely ripped. Like, he's in an unbelievable knit. He's never ever been the size I've been. So I kind of ended up thinking, you can't really relate to. Do you know what I mean? That's what.
Those people just don't really put weight on at the same rate either. Like, that's what.
No, and I did exactly like that. I'd go away for a weekend, come back, or a stag do, and put on like 12 pounds, and he'd be like, what the fuck have you done? Kind of thing. It's just like that's because I see it with my missus. She's half my size. She's like tiny, and she'll go on a mad weekend. We both will. She'll come back and she'll put on half a pound, and I'm like putting on 12 pounds. It's just like but obviously your bodies work different ways when you're at certain sizes. That's what I've definitely learned.
If I really wanted to, if I ate pizzas every night for a week, I think I could gain at least 3 stone. I think I could. And I'm not sure if that's genetics, but it definitely don't take a week to come off. It takes about 3 months to come off.
Exactly, yeah.
With the kind of other half side of things, my missus is really supportive and everything. She's stick skinny, and I can watch her eat an entire tub of straws and not gain a single pound, and then eat a meal afterwards. And then she's kind of giving me half of her food. Just like all the time because she can't finish it, and you're just sitting there going, "Yeah, I'm going to eat that. Of course I am." It's all that extra food and extra calories. And I'm 1,000,000% not blaming her, because I will make myself a double portion as it is anyway. So it's just adding on. And if there's leftovers, nothing's getting to the fridge, I'm going to eat that as well. I think it's something to do with the mind by 100%, and it's trying to reverse that and trying to have these triggers to stop doing them things. At the moment, I said the other week that I've been eating at the train station because I'm not sure if it's because I haven't got enough calories in me and I'm hungry, and by that point I'm going, I need to eat something, or I'm not drinking enough water, so actually I'm just thirsty. But I've been slipping in this like pre-meal meal, which is like a grilled chicken burger from Leon. And I've been hanging these in the train going, it's 530 calories. That'll be all right. Just don't get the chips and you'll be fine. And that, when you actually, my fitness power is insane. It's just like another meal's gone in. What are you doing? Go home and eat another meal with your missus, and then eat half of her food as well. It's ginormous by the end of the week. Food is the bit that I cannot get my brain around unless I'm like, this is what I do. I've tried every diet, and when I stick to them, they're good because they keep you in check and balanced. But it's a fine art, isn't it? It's just so hard to get that mix right. And if I start boozing, everything goes out the window. I'm
a binge eater and a binge drinker, 100%. Like, if I can't, I find it hard to go out for 2 or 3. Like, for me, if I go out, it's 10 plus easy. And then the knock, it's more for me the knock-on effect, because it's like the day after, I can't handle being hungover.
If you're hungover, it's a takeaway, isn't it? Like, so whenever you've been hungover Sunday and then 100%.
Cook. The only purpose in that day is to actually survive.
And
to survive, you have to eat your last meal 6 times.
Because you're starting again on Monday. You can't possibly start again on the Sunday. That's for madness.
And I'm so bad on the Deliveroo and Uber Eats. Like, where I used to live, hardly any choice. I came a bit closer to London, and you could literally be scrolling. Just there's anything you want.
What's your go-to, Dan? Talk to me about where your focal points.
I love a McDonald's. I do. I love a McDonald's.
What are you getting?
Mate, the order is ridiculous. I've told friends this, and they're like, it's like double quarter pounder, all large chips, large meal, 20 nuggets, and then another burger. Maybe sometimes another burger.
Oh, yes.
Are we talking double cheeseburger chasers, or are you talking another thing off the menu?
Double cheeseburger chasers. And it
arrives. The triple's good as well.
Arrives. And it's one of these massive bags.
Yeah,
Their neighbours going to think we're having a party around here. They're just for me. And then my missus were like, "Got to get just like
the nugget chasers up at 20 is good." So I would definitely be going with get me a meal and then get me some sort of chase. Absolutely, but 20 nuggets and then stick a burger or two on top of that. It's great going. I'm really
good going. It is. It's
just for that.
And that's the problem with delivery and Uber Eats. But I prefer to lose the chips for an additional meal. And I do that quite regularly. So burger makes sense. If I go Five Guys, I get burger and a beef hot dog, no chips.
No, so I go for the chips as well. It's always the hot dog, but the chips are there as well.
Chips. Emma can have the chips. I'll eat the burgers. I'm happy with that. But yeah, the thing with the McDonald's is that you're never actually full.
No.
You can keep going through all of that. If you eat a pizza, you're in trouble. You're sitting on the sofa sweating. Same with like a Chinese. Yeah. How do you calorie a Chinese? I've never worked that out.
I mean, that PT guy used to say to me, he said, "Oh, what? You can have the McDonald's, but just calorie count it." And I was thinking, mate, if you knew how many calories.
Yeah, no, the calculator runs out of that one, mate. No.
You're like, it's broken. It's broken. It doesn't know how to calculate it.
Your peak was 194 kilos, right? And you got down to 130-ish. That's 64 kilos. That's a third of your body gone. So that's about 10 stone, right? So you must have been doing something very right during that time. I know it was COVID and you were exercising more and stuff, but food-wise, talk to me. What did you do? Because that there is what we're trying to do. 50 kilos. That's more than that. 64. So what did you do that worked?
I mean, I kind of almost separate the pre-COVID stuff then to like the post-COVID stuff because I think looking back, it was me and my brother would always be like, right, we've got like a wedding coming up. Everything, my whole life would be based around things like a nights out or a wedding or a stag do or a holiday, whatever. And you'd almost like blitz yourself and like reduce the calories right down and to a stupid, unhappy amount. 1,500, I remember going down as 1,400 calories. It was just crazy. But because we were so big, it just worked. And then you'd have the event and then the kind of binge or whatever. But what we were really good at is having the event the day after, having a day of doing whatever the fuck you want. But then on the Monday, and I used to be like it, we're back. We'd always book a boxing session or we'd always have something. So it's kind of like minimizing the impact of the weekend or the event.
Yeah.
I think post-COVID, that's where I definitely go nowhere near that amount of calories. I do track most things now and I try and hit a certain amount. So I'm not constantly starving because then I'm always on the edge. I always say to my missus that I feel like I'm on the edge. It's like on the edge of like a proper blowout, like going mad, just because I'm so hungry. I think in the last year or 18 months, it's more so building up to those events. Where I've not been as good is reacting to them, like having 2 or 3 extra days off when I shouldn't have, or just like I've done, having like 2 weeks.
Well, like I've done 2 years.
So you've built,
that's the bad
plan then, to kind of get you back on track. That's the key bit. So you've always got something good that follows the bad.
But I'm trying to kind of a slightly new approach at the minute where it's trying not to build up these events and build up to these things because then it's just inevitable that you're going to like build up to it and then drop. Whereas I just think I'm trying to almost keep more of like a level, not worry so much about someone else's wedding or whatever else. Just trying to see it as just another
life.
I like stuff to work towards. Like I'm getting married now next year. I know you're getting married in as well. Like, so that's something quite big in the distance to aim for. But if you'd have asked me a week ago, I was just like, oh, that's a year away. I can still just eat whatever I want. Like that's the problem. So I think my brain works where I quite like short-term things to aim for. but it's just making sure that I just don't act stupid afterwards. That's the biggest.
That's life, though, right? Like for your approach, I think that's a great approach. I think there's nothing wrong with if you have, you have your event that happens on the Saturday. Yeah, Sunday, enjoy yourself. Follow up with a takeaway. Like we've all been there. Like that's going to happen. You're never going to get to a stage of life where you're not going to, have those hangovers or whatever and feel like you're going to treat yourself. And if I could guarantee that every Monday I was back on it and back doing the right things again. Like Sophie spoke about the other week in this pod about the 80-20, like, you've got to enjoy yourself the 20% time. As long as 80% time you're doing the right thing. If I could say now for the rest of my life that I would have the events that take place on the Saturday, maybe, let the guard down on Sunday, but Monday was back at it and had good weeks, then I'd be happy with that for the rest of my life. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. It's just the consistency of that is the key.
Like, I remember when I was working with this PT and I had a couple of stag do's last year. And I remember the first one, I bombed. I was just, for a good week, I was just totally ignored him. He was WhatsApping me. I was just like, mate, I don't even want to hear from you this week. But then the second stag do, I did exactly that. On the Monday, I wasn't like super strict on the diet, but I just got up and went out for a walk. And that kind of made me mentally go, right, come on now, you're back to it. And that definitely helped. But it's so easy to look back and think that's what you should have done. And when you're in the moment, for me, it's just like, just can't be bothered.
It's like a routine of destruction that just feels so good. Isn't it? It's like holidays are one for me because I'll start drinking like lads' holidays.
Yeah.
And then I've got to a point where there's blood coming out of every part of me and it just feels so bad. And then you're just like, well, if I just get through 3 pints, I'll feel better again. And then you just like, by the end of it, completely broke. You actually look wrong, didn't you?
Yeah.
Come back, get on the scales. That's like, my liver's not going to work for the next month either.
And for me, I work from home. So it kind of works both ways, good and bad. Like when I'm in a good routine, I've got a chance to go out and make food and all that kind of stuff. But when I'm not, it's so easy for me just to...
You're not far from the fridge.
Re-download. Well, it's more just like at the minute, the Deliveroo and things are deleted from my phone, but it's so easy for me to just work from here, not really leave the house and order food in, and that's when that's that cycle that's just like not good. So it kind of works good and bad.
I Deliveroo a weekly shop, and I've convinced myself that that's better for me than going shopping in a shop and cheaper. Because even though I'm paying a huge premium on the food, if I go anywhere near a supermarket, that like, do you know the confectionery aisle where there's like biscuits, cookies, that sort of stuff? I might as well just get 2 trolleys and just double arm it and bring it all in, baby. Let's go. And the other things that do me in a supermarket is like a fresh baguette or something like that, and you're like, there's no need for it whatsoever. You've already got a couple of frozen pizzas in the trolley. Just like get all that in. 300 quid later, I'm like, well,
I get done by the pound signs. If anything's got a picture that says pound, little circle, top right, I feel it's only a quid, isn't it? Like anything that's got a pound on it is in. Like, yeah, it's only a quid.
Anything discounted, you're really in trouble as well. That's the worst bit.
Oh, really? 48p? Oh, Scotch egg. Come on.
Yeah, at those prices, you're like, I can't afford not to. I've just got to.
Yeah. 2 packs of hobnobs instead of 1. Same price. Get me in trouble.
Because a couple of them have been dropped on the floor and they're cracked. They're cracked in my mouth anyway. Don't worry about that. Get them in.
Actually, I just scrunch them up and pour them in anyway. At your kind of peak, what was your kind of day's food at that point?
Yeah, great question.
It was always, I was never one for breakfast. Always skip breakfast. Always skipped it. But then I would seriously make up for it at lunch. And it was lunch having like, I remember when I did work from the office, there was a canteen there, and it was like ordering 2 baguettes. And in my head, I was thinking, if I order 2 baguettes, the server's going to think that one's for me and then one's for someone in the office. So I'd sit there and eat the one in the canteen. And then I'd go up to the office where all my colleagues were, and then I'd eat the next one. So they just kind of like, in my head, I was thinking, no one's going to notice. And then sometimes colleagues would come into the canteen as well, and then see me with like eating one with the other, and I'd just kind of like hide it. It was so bad. I think looking at that, for me, it was like leaving work, and then I used to get on a bus, and it used to drop me outside Uxbridge Station, and literally there's a Pret a Manger outside. and I used to go in there almost every day, and it was like another sandwich or baguette. They used to have these, like, like the hot part of Pret, where it's like meatball wraps.
Yeah, still there.
Nail that. The chocolate brownie thing they had, and like nail that before I got home, and then dinner. Then it'd be dinner, and then it'll be chocolate.
Pre-dinner dinner.
So it's
Also,
like,
that's the first time I've heard it called pret-a-manger for a fair few years.
I've banned myself from Pret. I think Pret's worse than McDonald's. I genuinely go in there. They've got 2 or 3 salad items, so does McDonald's.
Yeah.
But everything in that place is just not right.
Yeah. Yeah. That place for me, even now, is dangerous. And you can get it on delivery where I am, and it's dangerous.
I'm on the sausage and egg bat. That would be me.
Yeah. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even Thursday as well, was guaranteed takeaways. Just fast food, just sometimes 2 a day. Really bad. And it was just a real build up. And we for a while, me and my brother, we ran a football team together, like with all of our mates and stuff like that. And I remember every Sunday was like, go to the game in the morning. Afterwards, you go straight to the pub. The pub would put loads of 5 or 6 pints. Leave the pub, get food on the way back from the pub, like KFC, McDonald's. Go home, eat that, and then another takeaway in the evening. And that was every Sunday for probably 2 years. And that was just Sunday. Then the Saturday you'd be doing similar. And looking back, it's no wonder we were that big. No wonder.
But again, it's so hard to realise the damage you're doing, because if it was like something that was actually going to hurt you, you would stop.
Yeah.
But it feels good. And the thing is, half the marketing in these companies like Domino's and that sort of stuff is there to invite you. Half the food's laced with that MSG, so it becomes addictive. At the time, you're going, I'm getting a lot of pleasure from this. And even though you're sitting on the sofa going like,
yeah,
you're still going, oh my God, it feels good. I feel good to be full. There's a trigger a few years back that someone said to me, and I asked them about diet advice, and they went, when was the last time you were like actually starving hungry? And where I'd been in that routine, it could have been about 2 years ago. 2 years ago from that point. Yeah. And then I was like, and he went, yeah, okay, well, go out. And he went, get yourself to that point again. And he went, and then put something in your mouth. You'll appreciate it a lot more. And that was the first step of the diet for me. It was mad. Yeah. So I didn't eat until dinner, and I was like rock hard. So when we were getting to lunch going, I'm fine. Yeah. I'm still full. Really bad routines that fuck me over the years.
And like thinking about food as fuel. Like I'll need it when I need fuel. If I'm not hungry, I don't.
Yeah.
I do it when I'm stressed. So it's like if I'm stressed at work, I eat because my brain's going, you're panicking, and you're like, well, you better eat now in case you've got another 4 meetings, and you're like jumping into the kitchen, smash anything you can get your hands on. If you've got like, my days are so busy, if I've got a window, I'm like, well, I can get a delivery in. What's quick? McDonald's is reliable. Get the McDonald's, get it in, and then I'm good to go. And then, well, might as well get some sides just in case I don't have dinner because I'm too busy, and my brain's just going like that. And it's just, what on earth's going on? Really, I should have all that prep planned and everything, and it will be easy. But just convenience is such a. Them apps are just so.
Dangerous. It's those routines, isn't it? I always find like for the last week, I've just been bang on. And I felt quite easy just to get back into that routine, but it's just as easy to come out of it and then just be on a routine of and just doing what you want and not thinking. That's the thing. I think when you're in that moment, you're just not thinking. You're not
thinking. Yeah.
You're just kind of going with it. And it's like I say, it's good routine, bad routine. They're both just as easy to get out. But I always just find that getting out of the bad routine is just takes time. I think that maybe that's always going to be the way it is with me. Maybe it is. It feels like a constant thing of like, come on now, you need to check yourself and just get back to it type thing. But it's so much harder at the moment.
Yeah.
And how long have you been on like a good routine in this current one? Yeah. I know you said you had like a little 2 weeks off, but it sounds as if that was like a little blip.
I had a really good start to the year. Like January, February and most of March was great. And it was, they had this kind of trip booked. So I would say probably out of it, probably about a month. If you add in the holiday and then the 2 weeks afterwards, probably about a month. So it's been about a week since I've been kind of in that routine. And the difference of how I feel, just in every It's just crazy. Just crap. But then now I'm like, right, a week in, you get to a week and you're like, you just need to do another week. And I purposely, it's always let's start Monday. I purposely last week started on a Friday because I was listening to this podcast where they were saying start on a Thursday or Friday, because you almost like, because you're starting your diet or the routine, it's like it's kind of easier at that time to get through the weekend because you're feeling the most motivated. And that's definitely helped. That's definitely helped that last week. I don't feel like I'm urging to go and have a beer or have anything like that. So maybe that's working.
Yeah, I find so the Man v Fat League that I'm playing in do a Friday kickabout, and I play in that now. And when I first brought myself to do it, I was like, this is just so silly. Like, what on earth are they doing? I don't want to be doing this.
Yeah.
Turned up, played, and I'm like, you know what? That's 10 times better than what I've been normally doing on a Friday. Yeah. And it's like I'm avoiding nights out to do the right thing at the moment. I actually do more damage at home than being out. Yeah. I think I'm quite conscious when other people are around of doing the right thing. So while I'm trying to do the right thing and stay in and stay out of the pub, food-wise, definitely. Booze-wise, probably not. Yeah. So that's been a nice little trigger to just kind of get the weekend started. And I also feel as I've done that, if I have a bad Saturday, I've kind of earned it. So I completely get that. So from kind of your peak to kind of coming down the weights, have you been conscious of an overall calorie target? And is that calorie target just gradually coming lower, or are you kind of extreming it and then thinking of like a weekly target?
Definitely up until the start of last year, I was just hitting as low a number as I felt was possible, and just doing it and just having to survive, just get through it. And I was miserable. I remember when I hit that lowest point, I think it was in the summer of July 2020. And I remember in the build up to that, like I remember doing a boxing session. I was getting dizzy because I just wasn't eating, and it was just ridiculous. Looking back, it was just ridiculous. And I stepped on the scales, yeah, great. But then
you're not healthy.
It's not a good way to do it. Not a good way to do it. And in a way, because I was doing the boxing, I was almost getting to that, almost thinking I was making weight for a fight or something stupid like that, where you're just starving yourself. So the first time that's why I worked with this guy last year. He was just like, right. At the start of last year, he set me like a target of like 3,500 calories, which was a huge amount. And he was like, just do that for the first week. And I lost weight. I lost weight on it. It was at the start of the year. So I was thinking, I just had you just have Christmas. And then he was his way of just saying, listen, you can lose weight on this amount of calories, but if you bring it down a bit more, and so he set me a target of like 2.5, which was, again, compared to what I'd been doing, was great. And I was losing weight, and I did made some good progress last year. And I've just basically tried to do that again this year. That's kind of what I'm trying to follow, a rough plan, but also I'm not working with, definitely having that accountability helped. Having someone that you had to check in with, like on a Monday or Tuesday, to tell them what you've been up to, and having to like write a diary, and he's checking your MyFitnessPal, and that helped for a little while for me. But then I was definitely starting to get to a point, especially those weeks where I had to be like, oh, I can't be bothered with this. You start.
I'm also like,
start lying. You start not.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The Man v Fat ones are like, I'm filling in the MyFitnessPal each week for them. If I've got a night out, I'm not writing 30 pints in it, because I just like can't even remember doing it.
Exactly.
And I get a little kick out of there's like a weigh-in table there, and a guy who goes like, can I have a look at your tracking? Give him the tracking. And you've just got like bars of what calories I've put in and a line above it, and they've gone, oh, you've had a good week. You get on the scales, you put on 2 kilograms, and you go, oh yeah. And you just got a poke face, just go, yeah, something's wrong. It's like cheating your own system. Like, getting a little kick out of it. It's just so wrong.
Do you know what? I actually did that. I did when you guys mentioned on the podcast about Man versus Fat, and I've just re-signed up for it. But I remember being there. Nice. I remember playing and thinking, you're not fat enough to be here. There was a few lads there. I was thinking, you are not fat enough to be here. Because when you type in your weight and your height, and it goes, your BMI is X, you've been accepted into it. And I was thinking, these blokes, they were all like just running around with a fat lads, basically.
Yeah, there's one or two there, but there's always this beautiful moment where they get a bit tired in the second half and just get completely flattened by a 30-stone bloke. And that's where I go, like, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. There's also another guy. There's an older guy, who looks at me and he must see me like some sort of cow that he's trying to move. He puts his entire body weight into every challenge. He's now had to have a couple of weeks out with sciatica. I'm pretty sure he's just been running into me that much that he's just broken his back. Proper old school, just like, yeah, he's a big lump, he's in the way, let's just go straight through him. It's like, oh, no, just need to have a little run about. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, it's this. Yeah, I've signed up for that. I just thought, I'll give that another go because I love football. I think my thing now is, it was really interesting that the podcast you did, was it Laura or
Sophie,
and she was, yeah, I thought that was really interesting because she was basically saying that was it you in that you're almost doing too much, and I think like this week,
nail on the head. Yeah,
I've been like, I play touch rugby, I go to the gym, I do a lot, but I've been really conscious this week of just not pushing too hard in the gym and actually just being more active generally. And that's my new approach now. This is something I've not done before, where I'm gonna just try that and actually just put some of that, more of that energy into making sure that I don't into the nutrition, the food side. I'm just gonna see what it's like, just see how that works, rather than killing myself in the gym and then overdoing it there. I'm thinking I'm going to try something else, not try and focus too much on it.
I read Not Another Diet book. I think he's Matt Smith, his name
James
is.
Smith. Yeah, James Smith.
Yeah. And that was pretty much saying that as well. He was just like, he was labelling people like a postman that you never see that's fat because they're out walking every day. And he's like, they're able to eat 3,000 calories because they've got them steps in. Yeah. Or as a smaller person, they're allowed to do that. And he's like, even if you think of the role of like a mum in a household who's having to do so much with the kids during the day and this sort of stuff, they're not gaining weight because they're constantly having to lift a little ball of weight. Do you know what I mean? I listened to that and I was like, well, I could be lazier. And that was a dangerous path.
I'm like that. I'm really like that. I actually like doing loads. If you're then in your head thinking, well, okay, I'm doing loads so I can get away with having a bigger lunch or whatever, or a few snacks. I'm going to just see how it goes. I think that's been the way it's been with me all since. And this is the thing, you get these people that could have probably lost the amount of weight that I lost in like a year. I think, but there's people, you always hear stories about it, you like people. Yeah. And I just think, I feel like you have to sacrifice your whole life. You like the drinking, the stag do's, the going out with your mates, the meals out, all the good things in life. I think if I just cut them all out, I'd have done it. I'd have been at 18.
I'm just not prepared to do that though. Like I'm determined to find a way to make a better lifestyle, because there are people I know that have a great lifestyle, that enjoy going out for meals and all that stuff, and they're not anywhere near my size. So there's a formula in there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not doing it to excess.
I've danced with sobriety so many times, and work improves relationships. My relationship with my missus, does it improve sobriety? I think we have a better time having a release at the end of the week where we have a laugh and a few drinks. Yeah. And even though there is no friction whatsoever, I also think it goes to the other way where you're just too neutral. And actually, sometimes she wants to have a bottle of wine and say how I'm useless. Yeah. And she needs that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think you can do that to a sober person. And I see loads of benefits of sobriety, and I also seen some people who really like sobriety has really sorted them out because they really don't need alcohol. They're having a good time anyway. But it's British society. How do you fit into society if you keep cutting stuff away? And I agree. I've been trying to find this magic formula, and Sophie hit the nail on the head for me, because I was managing a football team. So that Saturday where I would have been boxing, or I would have been playing myself lower down instead of playing higher up, I'm not moving. I'm standing on the sidelines thinking I'm on the next Jose Mourinho. And from there, that was then stress during the week to try and find players. That's taking my mind off doing stuff. it's also when people drop out, like the kind of new generations of people, just most flaky individuals I've ever encountered. So it was just all this like needless stress, and then job, work, everything is just too much. So I've been really like not jumping at the opportunities to get busy, and I'm usually the person to go, I'll do that. And I'm just in a much better mood. I'm just happier. I'm moving about a lot more, and I think I'm in a good space at the minute. And I'm also trying to not get blind drunk, because that's usually when everything reverses. So I'm trying to just moderately drink, which is easier said than done. I did it last night. Me and Bob met up, and I slipped out after 2.
Yeah, that's good.
Didn't go to Leon at the station, no, and smashed the fucking chicken burger.
Did you?
I literally live 2 doors down from a pub, and it's a really nice pub. They've got a lovely garden. It's hard. It's especially like a day like today where it's nice, and like you say, like me and my missus, we just love to have a couple of drinks on a Friday. But unfortunately for me, it's just like it doesn't just end like that. It's almost like 4 pints. You're like, right, now the party's really starting. It's normally delivery when you get back to the house. It's like then it's Saturday, Sunday. It's just like. But there's like you say, there's definitely a formula, because I'm like you. I know so many of my friends. Out of all my friends, me and my brother are the only ones that have kind of weight issues. It's just everyone else seems to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's just the consistency, and it's this trainer and all the books and all the Instagrams you read and watch. They always just talk about consistency and also you don't have to. It's not being perfect. And unfortunately, that for me is if I have like slightly come away from the diet, I'm like,
it's done. Yeah.
When you actually realise that how stupid that is, but again, it's easier said than done to think about that in the moment.
Absolutely. Dan, I need to get to Man v Fat football.
Cool, man.
So,
cool. No, this is really good.
You go to a wedding, didn't you, Bob?
I've got a pre-wedding meal, before the off tomorrow for the groomsmen. But Dan, thank you so much for coming on. I've really enjoyed our chat.
No, this is really good.
Let's catch up in a couple of weeks. I'll be interested to see how you're getting on.
Yeah,
let's get your brother on here as well.
Yeah. I'll get the Tweedledee and Tweedledum will both come on. That could be the title.
And we'll recognise either one of you because your quiff goes one way, one hand goes
another one.
Brilliant.
Yeah. We might also have to separate Bob and him, because if they've got the same barnet, there should be a protest in Oxford trying to get that guy shut down.
No, that's class. That's really, really good to really good to
Dan, appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. We'll definitely catch up with you again for sure. But thank you for joining us. Love it.
See you later. Thanks for that.
We've got some diet plans, health scans, sugar bans, fitness fans, PTs, injuries, laying off the Chinese, ball games, gym chains, protein gains and skin tight tops, and we ain't gonna stop until we hit the 50k. Drop, 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 drop. No excess fat, no FAT, no curry bag, no guarantee. Rough or buff, lean on me. We'll end up as fit as a pig.